Yo guys, what up? This is Don,
Sammy Lee here.
and today we're here with our performance review on the Adidas D-Rose 6.
Like always, let's start off with the traction. So, Don, how'd you feel about the traction?
I was really impressed with it.
Yep.
It's pretty shallow, and the grooves are pretty narrow, and it's semi-translucent, and the rubber's pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too sure about it, but on the court it performed really well. Minimal wiping.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many better tractions. It was really really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Pretty solid.
where we play is really dusty, so we usually have to wipe a lot. But this one, I actually don't really remember wiping at all with the
Yeah.
shoe. So it was actually really nice. And if you guys care about squeaky traction, it is pretty squeaky. Not really, really squeaky, but it's not like the Hyperdunks where there's no squeaky traction, right? So
Right.
it's pretty squeaky, and you stop really well on the shoe, so you
Yeah.
don't really have to worry about traction.
It wasn't like the best of all time,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Really solid. I was really impressed with it. I really liked the traction.
So for the score for the traction, we gave it a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then let's move up to the cushion here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have full length boost, which we're super stoked on.
Yep.
Right when we saw the leaked images of it and saw that it was full length boost, we were super hype on it.
Yeah.
And the D-Rose 5, the boost was pretty lackluster.
Yeah, it was actually really thin.
Yeah, and especially in the forefoot, it was almost non-existent.
Yeah.
And the heel was really weak too.
Mm-hmm.
This they really stepped it up, and it's awesome. It's one of the best cushions I've ever played in.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, same with me. It's amazing. Just like the heel compression right here is, it's you get unbelievable amount of comfort.
Yeah.
And in the forefoot, you do feel the boost a little bit, but it's not like crazy. Like full length. If you guys have ever tried full length Zoom, you do get a lot of bounce back from that setup. But
Yeah.
from this boost setup, you don't really get it. You just feel like a little bit of compression, but not
Yeah.
not, not like a bounce back.
Right.
You know?
It's really plush. It's like
Yeah.
it's like riding in a Cadillac. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just smooth,
Uh-huh.
smooth sailing.
Yeah.
And then it's wrapped in this stable frame in the midfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just for support. In basketball, obviously, you're doing a lot of cuts and stop and goes.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be too unstable with the
Yeah.
cushion. So they couldn't just let the boost just ride.
Yeah.
And, in the Crazy Light Boost 2015, it had a similar heel, but there was just Adiprene Plus in the forefoot.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really into that. The boost was amazing, and we were really hoping for them to do this in the D-Rose 6, and they did it.
Yep.
Shouts out to Adidas.
Yeah, finally they listened to us, you know. They looked at our video.
They've been watching our videos.
Yeah,
you know.
but yeah. So what the stable frame does is, if you guys see, it's in the middle. So when you guys are doing cuts like this, your foot is gonna put pressure on this side, and it's gonna go like this because boost is so soft. So
Yeah.
that's why they put it right here in the middle. So you guys, we don't roll our ankle, or we have support. That's why
Yeah.
it's called support.
Let's take a look at these clips in the outrigger. So these are there for also more support. Okay, so when you're doing, in basketball, especially if you're a guard, you're doing a lot of cuts on the outrigger, crossovers and step backs and stuff. So this is really going to keep you stable right here too. So it's not just full on boost.
What would you give the cushion?
I would give the cushion. I can't think of any other cushion that's better aside from full length Zoom, which is not in barely any models, especially no new models.
Yeah.
So I would have to give it a 9.
Yeah. Same with me.
Right?
Uh-huh. And just one thing to note is Boost isn't really bouncy. It's pretty bouncy, but not as bouncy as Zoom. So
Right.
if you like that, then this shoe is not going to give you that. It's just going to give you a crazy amount of comfort and a crazy amount of impact protection.
Impact protection is off the charts
Yeah.
on this. We'll play for 2-3 hours pickup games nonstop.
Yeah.
Because we never lose, right? So we're always playing.
That is true.
And so we'll play for 2-3 hours straight, and your legs feel chill afterwards.
Yeah.
Sometimes I play in other shoes with more court feel and not as much softness, and I just feel it the next day in my legs. So, but that's also something to consider if you're not super into a lot of impact protection, a lot of cushion. This is not your shoe.
Yep.
If you want a lot of court feel and feeling low to the ground and a stiff cushion, this is not your shoe.
Yeah. So let's go on to materials. So for me, I tried out the mesh version of the D-Rose 6, and Don tried out the synthetic material version of the D-Rose 6. So, okay, so I'll start first. The mesh is actually, after I broke it in, it was actually really, really soft. When I first, for my first impressions video, it was really stiff, right? But it broke in really nicely, and it actually gives a lot of support. I don't know why. It's really soft, but gives a lot of support. So I actually really like this material.
Cool.
Yeah, and actually, also there's a good amount of ventilation. It's not crazy good, but there's a good amount. My feet actually didn't get hot in these, so that's a good plus.
Right. Over here we have this synthetic suede that they did, and it's super rough and feels super cheap. I'm not into it at all.
Yeah.
I'm also not really into the look of it too much either. But when I first put it on, it was super stiff. Wasn't into it at all, but it broke in really, really nicely, as like a leather would. Leather, you have to break it in. I know it's synthetic, but they're trying to emulate it. And then it has all these little perforations on the lateral medial side for ventilation, which didn't do a damn thing. It was hot as fuck in this shoe.
Really?
Yeah. I was sweating pretty bad in this shoe.
Yeah.
And it's also because there's so much padding throughout the whole shoe.
Yeah.
But you got your pros and cons. The padding's nice, it's comfortable, but it's also hot.
Yeah.
So, materials wise, uppers wise, how did we rate it?
I gave it a 9, and he gave it a 7.5. So we don't really want to put like decimals into our point system. So
Yeah.
we just gave it overall an 8.
We met it in 8.
Yeah.
They're two different uppers.
Yeah. Now let's go on to support. So the support is gonna come from the overall fit. So the lacing system, and the ankle support right here, the straps, and the TPU heel counter, right? So in the mesh version, the TPU heel counter is internal, right? So you can't see it, but in the synthetic suede version, you can actually see it's a carbon fiber TPU heel counters, and it's external. So
Yeah.
that's actually pretty cool. So what do you think about the support?
Support was really, really good. These straps actually did something, as opposed to the D-Rose 7734,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
they're there, but they're just kind of taped down.
Yeah.
This is actually free moving, and it'll pull from the back here.
Yeah.
I actually, when I first saw the pictures of it, wasn't into the whole look of the thing, but with me, I'm more function over form kind of guy. I like, just if it performs well, I'm not tripping on the looks. So the overall fit was really good. The support was really good. I felt really taken care of in the shoe. What about you?
Yeah, same with me. Support was actually really good. I didn't have any really real problems, but there was a little bit of heel slippage for both of us.
Yeah.
So it felt like it was going up and down a little bit. So
Yeah.
that was a little
Lockdown
problem,
wasn't incredible.
but yeah. So I guess we're talking about like support / lockdown. I
Right.
guess it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So it was kind of going up and down, but other than that, support was actually really good overall in the shoe.
Right. So for overall support and lockdown, we give it an 8. It's pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah, it was actually really nice. So, okay.
All right, let's move on to the fit.
Okay.
The fit was really good for me. Right when I stepped into it, super comfortable, and not too roomy, not too narrow for me, just right. What about you?
Same. It was actually really nice. The width was perfect, and this shoe does go true to size. So, just keep that in mind. And the material does go a little bit over my toes, which I don't really like. I like to have it like right over my toes. So, but that's not really a big problem. The overall feel was actually really nice.
One thing though is I felt like there on this shoe there was a thin line between having the shoe cut off circulation because it's too tight, and having it be too loose and slipping around. I don't know if that's just something with my shoe because it's a 14 and I have a narrow foot, and 14s for some reason they like to make them just super huge and roomy.
And super wide.
Yeah, super wide.
Yeah.
But like one day I actually tore I had a huge blister on the front of my big toe, which I've never had.
Yeah.
Which means my big toe was just hitting the front of the shoe.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a bummer. But overall, we give it a 8, right?
Yeah.
Which is also really good.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So now let's move on to durability. So durability, other than the traction, if you do play outside, it should be really nice, right? The durability is really nice in this shoe. There's really like no stretch from the mesh, so it feels like this will give you a lot of durability. So, yeah. What about you?
yeah, it's pretty durable, especially for the price point. You could tell that they cut corners a little bit on some of the materials, feel kind of cheap, but there's no indications for us that it's going to be not durable. So everything seems put together really well. The laces are strong. The stitching looks good. The glue work looks pretty good. And, a decent amount of the materials are pretty high quality.
Yeah.
Some of them are not, but
Yeah. So we gave the durability a 9.
yep.
Okay. So now let's move on to aesthetics. So what do you think about the shoe?
When I first saw it, I was disappointed. I don't love the look of the shoe, personally. There's some new colorways that are coming out, specifically the black iridescent colorway coming out.
The Xeno or
The
whatever.
Xeno technology that they're
whatever,
doing.
yeah.
That looks really dope. Raina's going nuts here. But I'm not a huge fan of it. What about you?
I think actually it looks dope, and I think it can go cool casually. So yeah, I think it looks dope.
All right.
So we met at the middle for this, and we gave it an 8.
An 8.
Yeah. So overall, what are your afterthoughts?
Overall, it's an incredible shoe. They really killed it with this. It's really, really dope. It feels great. The cushion's awesome. This is probably a shoe that's going to be, at the top of my rotation.
Yep.
What about you?
Definitely, same for me. I really like this shoe, and I definitely love playing in it. So we actually really do recommend this shoe, especially for the price point.
Yes.
There's a lot of shoes that are way overpriced, for what they're worth. But this shoe, I think you're getting what you're actually more value from the shoe, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of discounts now, right? You can get the shoe for actually probably like 120 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys are really looking, so for this shoe, I think you're getting very good value.
Yeah. So there it is. That's
Yeah.
the Adidas D Rose 6. They killed it. It's a dope shoe. We recommend it. We'll be back with some more reviews ASAP. My name is Don.
Simon Lee here.
We are the Soul Brothers. Later.
Peace.